podcast. Listen up, wrestling fans.
And I gotta apologize.
You're just a fake bitch. Oh, we're talking now, ain't we? Yeah, you're hearing me now, ain't you? Hit him right in the nuts. He's a part-timing fake-ass bitch.
This is the part-time best pro wrestling podcast in the world. This is the best pro wrestling podcast. My name is Tommy Stryker, host of the show. Joining me this week, as always, is Taco.
Yeah, as always. What up?
And also joining us, as always, but a little bit differently, not quite in the studio, but he is here. He's here in spirit and via the miracle of the internet, via Google Hangouts. Joe is here. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
You're just a fake bitch.
But yeah, so let's, we got to get right into it. Lots to talk about this week. Of course, we're going to talk Raw. We're going to begrudgingly talk a little bit of SmackDown because we do try to keep it positive on this show. Definitely going to talk this week's NXT. We all just got done watching that. I believe we are all caught up on the Mae Young Classic this week.
Yes, sir.
And what we're going to do is, since I know a lot of it's overwhelming. It's 4 hours. People WWE gave it they gave it all to us all at once. So what we're going to do is we're going to save the Mae Young Classic talk for the end of the show for those of you that are trying to avoid spoilers. I was not able to avoid a very critical spoiler that really fucked up with my... I was planning on filling out a prediction bracket, and once I heard the spoiler, that it was pointless for me to even fill one out. So we'll talk about that later once we get in.
So are we doing beer on this then, Joe?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but we were, as we talked about in the pre-show Twitter that we put out, the Periscope, we were supposed to do our Cueto Cup tournament bet beer drinking experience today, where Taco was going to buy the beers, but with Joe not being here,
save it for next week.
But Taco and I are enjoying an adult beverage ourselves, anyway. As I guess Joe,
I have also enjoyed some adult beverages as well.
So we're all fucked up over here on the podcast.
Wrestling party tonight. Woo!
So there's that. But before we get to Raw, SmackDown, everything else, let's talk about. There's quite a bit of news this week. So
Pro wrestling
news.
We have quite a bit of news for you. News.
So I guess the biggest one would be the Samoa Joe had a bit of an injury on the house show over the weekend. Wasn't on Monday Night Raw, but it sounds like it's just going to be something not too bad. Just going to be a couple of weeks or something, maybe 4 weeks. I think is what I read earlier. There's that damn buzz again. Is that you, Taco, over there? Try your microphone there. There it goes.
Get in there. Put it in the hole.
All good. All good now. I'll have to work on that,
sounds hot.
during the week this week because that's been popping up the last couple of shows. So yeah, Samoa Joe got a little bit of a knee injury. I think it was a knee, but it was definitely a knee for Xavier Woods. He hurt his knee on the SmackDown house show that took place on Monday night. Came out on SmackDown with a sign saying "It's sore" or whatever it was. Had the big knee brace on. Sounds like just a minor thing for him as well. A bunch of other news to get into. We'll get into it more when we talk Ring of Honor this week, but big announcement that Minoru Suzuki is going to be at the next Ring of Honor pay-per-view, taking on Cody for the Ring of Honor Championship.
Rest in peace, Cody.
So yeah, he'll be a ghost out there with Adam Cole at some point, probably. But we'll get into that when we talk some Ring of Honor. What else was in the news this week?
Ric Flair's tweeting again, saying he's not going to be back, but he's going to try to move to something.
Right. He's getting better.
He's getting better.
So the miracle continues.
We'll see him again.
Ric Flair, yeah. So good news there. What else was there? I feel like there was something else big that I'm forgetting about, and then we'll I'm sure we'll touch on it at some
the
point.
fucking Pro Wrestling Illustrated list. This is odd in some places.
PWI 5, this is the big 500 that just came out, right? Big news, huge news. For the first time ever, a Japanese star, number 1, Kazuchika Okada from New Japan Pro Wrestling, having the amazing year that he's been having on top of New Japan, the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. What an amazing year he's had. The matches with Kenny Omega, the matches he's had with everyone. Suzuki, the G1 Climax was great, and he's had a phenomenal year, well deserving of that honor, in my opinion. And interesting note that came out of that. It sounds like Cody Rhodes got snubbed in the top 500, not even making it.
Where was he actually rated?
I don't think he was.
He was rated.
I haven't seen the list, but it sounds like
Cody Rhodes is at 33 under Dolph Ziggler and Jinder Mahal.
Okay, so that's a snub. That's a snub because that's awful. Because I mean, he's had a phenomenal year. I saw that news, not the ranking, but I saw from Joey Ryan, who tweeted it out, something to the effect of, that's a snub by PWI.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, he was.
And question for you too.
Yeah.
Just where would you actually really rank him? Because a lot of people are like trying to say that he would be top 5. I'd say top 10 for sure. But are you really feeling Cody Rhodes in the top 5?
To me, I don't necessarily feel him top 5. I could think of, I mean, obviously, you got Okada and Omega out of Japan are probably, somewhere top 5. AJ in there as well.
Samoa Joe's in the top 10. I necessarily wouldn't even put him top 10. I'd say Cody has done more accomplishments in a year than Joe has, though.
The thing is it's the PWI 500 too is a subjective thing, and what they base their criteria on are maybe something different from what anybody else would base their criteria on too. So this is one of those things that comes out every year, and the fans debate it. Fans, the podcasters, the media, all of that. So it's kind of fun to
Shibata came in at 23rd.
Well, that's decent. That's good. That's good.
That's fun, but it's just whatevs.
Yeah, it is what it. But it's cool that Okada got the number 1 spot for the first time. So very, very cool. Then did you have the top 10 close by there?
Top 10, yeah, I can get that up.
Get us the top 10. Let's go through the top 10.
Yeah, let's listen. Real
quick.
All right, number 10 is The Miz.
Okay.
He's right, exactly.
Wow. Well, he's had a pretty good year on the mic.
Naito is 12 and Neville's 11.
Okay. I would argue that Naito's had a better year than Miz.
Exactly.
Bigger profile here in the United States for Miz.
Bobby Roode is number 9.
Not bad.
Samoa Joe, number 8. Dean Ambrose coming in at 7. Nakamura at 6.
I
would sink him lower.
I think Nakamura wouldn't make my top 10, honestly.
No,
probably in the 20.
Number 5 is Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Roman Reigns at number 4.
Honestly, I don't think I have Reigns in the top 10. I mean, he's had good matches. He's been he's been booked as the top guy.
His best show is Braun Strowman
in WWE. Yeah, you're right though.
Yep.
Number 3 is Owens.
Okay.
Number 2, Styles, and of course Okada number 1.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Styles being number 2 there. That's good. It'd be nice if WWE would present him in a more. I mean, he had that. He kind of had that run with the title there a little bit last year, but I feel
Styles.
Yeah. Where didn't he have the title when he was doing the thing with Ellsworth and all that?
Yep.
So I mean, so there's that. He was doing the thing with Ellsworth at the time. So it'd be nice to get him back on top. It's to me, it's dumb having Jinder Mahal on top. So it'd be nice if that was reversed.
Yeah.
But it kind of is what it is at this point. So.
I don't want to get in the gender thing.
We're going to keep it positive.
It wasn't even positive or negative. I'm glad they're having faith in something right now. Trying to have faith in something right now. You got to build a superstar at sometimes.
Well, and I don't disagree that like his run is gone a little long, but I mean I don't mind him having the title a little while just to establish him as a top heel as well.
But that Nakamura Jinder Mahal match from SummerSlam was a mess.
Oh, that was garbage.
It was garbage, and Mahal winning, keeping that title was just the look on the fans' faces in the crowd was just like, fuck this, and that's what it was. Like, fuck this,
It is.
So Yeah. All right, let's get into Monday Night Raw, shall we?
Change the subject.
Monday Night Raw. So Monday Night Raw, the better of the two shows this week.
Man.
I think we all agree on that. I think it would be stupid for us to start anywhere except for the Cena and Roman Reigns promo segment.
Who's that? Is it a young buck making his debut, or?
No, this is your quote number 1 and 2 guys in WWE. This was your.
I got nothing. Fuck it escaped. I had something.
Well, what are your initial thoughts? The quote worked shoot promo, whatever you want to call it. To me, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It really sold this match to me. I really enjoyed it. Some people, and a lot of people are critical of going to Roman Reigns and Cena for No Mercy, kind of a throwaway fall pay-per-view. But we got the football season coming up. What do you think, Taco?
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was going to say was the football season's coming up. So, I feel like they're going to make a big deal out of this No Mercy thing. And, since it seems like they're going ahead with the one pay-per-view a month thing, make it worth it. Don't drown us in your product right now because there's a lot of good wrestling going on right now. And, don't give us too much WWE. It hurts at times.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out this fall because, we got 4 weeks now until No Mercy, and then no SmackDown pay-per-view until TLC.
But they're fucking building up No Mercy, so I'm excited for it, man. Like you said, this promo, the interactions between the two was just fun. The atmosphere, even though the crowd's just, you suck too, you fucking nerd, you fucking suck. It's just that's the point. That's what you do with those guys, Like Cena said in their promo, he's like, this guy sucks too, man. Like it's just they're getting. Look at the reaction they're getting. They're getting the reaction.
What are your thoughts, Joe?
Honestly, I'm on the sour side on this one. I actually I just thought it was a normal John Cena promo. Yeah, subject matter is kind of what makes it, but it didn't come across that amazing to me as how people portrayed it. But I'm also still not mad at this type of match with these two. Again, we can get a solid build-up of 4 weeks leading up to No Mercy.
I'm the opposite of what Joe is, and I definitely saw people online with your point of view, Joe. So that's a valid. Obviously, it's an opinion, so it's valid.
It definitely was nothing new or special. It's just the delivery of everything was just spot on.
I thought, to me, it just turned Cena such a fucking babyface to me, to a guy that's kind of been. I mean, Cena's earned a lot of respect with me and a lot of other quote unquote internet fans over the past few years.
Let's go Cena sucks thing. It's a Angle sucks chant. That's all it is at this fucking point.
Right.
That dude, he has everyone's respect.
Well, I mean, and that is a popular response to the Let's Go Cena sucks question. But I still see people that are like, yeah, but I still fucking hate him. So there's
that's
definitely
the internet trolls.
There's definitely the troll. There's definitely the haters out there. But I want.
That's the thing is, I can still see an absolutely amazing match come out of these two. A good, WrestleMania style match. We've seen these two fight before. So, why wait?
I love that he has no F's to give. That's
exactly.
I got 0 F's to give.
I got some great sound bites from this promo, so let's just kind of go through them here. Cena says that Reigns is kind of been a protected guy. This is kind of what I like about this is that it is the quote worked shoot promo, and it works to me because you don't get this all of the time. Especially, Miz has kind of been doing this a little bit over the last year, but you don't get this often from Cena, and so I like the story of fucking Cena taking Roman to task and be like, come on, motherfucker, it's time to step up your game.
Right.
And, using insider, whatever terms or whatever, and all that just kind of amps it up just a little bit for me.
I feel like that's really the only way to connect those two to the crowd is that internet communication between each other right now, because if it's just top dog against top dog in the ring, no one's going to connect to that match. They're both going to just shit on them. But if they're dropping the insider lingo on each other, it's like, oh fuck, like they know, like it's just a connection right there.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see.
Roman Reigns has been the blue chip prospect that has been protected against anyone and everyone that steps in his path.
So a little bit of shooting there from Cena. Cena's got no F's to give. He calls him a cheap-ass Cena bootleg. I fucking love that.
And then every single week you can audibly hear those people so desperately wanting me to change the content of my character. Maybe a little heel turn. But with you, it's different. Because when they look at you, they see what I see. A cheap-ass, corporately created John Cena bootleg.
Don't you just picture like Toriano coming out with like a bootleg, like John Cena Reigns, like selling them to the crowd?
But I like Cena acknowledging the idea that there's a section of the fan base that wants him to turn heel, but he won't, and he can't because he's such a shoot good person. Whether he is or not is up for debate. But I mean, there's all those there was that video rotating going around just a couple of weeks ago of Cena, and it was like the title of the video is "This is why Cena could never turn heel," and it was like this heartwarming thing for I think
Always ran that letter.
I think that's what it was.
It was fucking touching, man. Shit.
So there's that. Cena's saying that Reigns doesn't want to fight him. Cena calls a cheap ass corporate Cena bootleg said that already. He says Reigns won't sign because the Roman Empire will crumble. But then Roman says that you can't bury me.
You can't bury me, John. You can't touch me. Hell, I think this is fitting. I'm the one guy in the WWE that John Cena can't see.
So Roman had some good stuff in here too, even though he got lost at one point.
It's called a promo,
Shut
kid,
your
and
mouth,
if you want to
John.
be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to do it, so go ahead.
So, what else here? Of course, Reigns with some lines.
He's a part-timing fake-ass bitch.
The bitch originally got beeped out, and I edited the other bitch in. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, they hit their
Nice
bitch quota.
Yeah, you can only say it one time, I guess. We got the half. This was John Cena giving Reigns a bit of a compliment here.
Congratulations. It took you 5 years to cut a halfway decent promo, but now I'm about to shrink you down to size.
And then this was Big Cena's comeback at the end, which was pretty nice.
I'm a level with you, homie. I haven't main evented WrestleMania in 5 years. I was the opening match at SummerSlam. I was honored and privileged to earn the United States title at this stage in my career and use it as a beacon of opportunity to introduce new superstars to the WWE like Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, just to name a few.
So that was what really turned the promo around for me. It was like Cena speaking truth. And then he goes on to talk about how, I wanted to bring honor to the United States Championship, and Roman Reigns looked at it as a demotion.
Yeah.
So that was a hot line there, too. And, of course, one of Roman's big lines was about Cena being a part-timer, and the way Cena closed it out was just fucking home run for me.
Because I can do this part-time better than you could ever do it full-time.
Drop that mic. So, yeah, to me, it was just it was hot. I loved it. It was the best part of the show.
Fuck yeah!
It did get fucking silly when Anderson and Gallows come out right after, and then they go to the fucking tag team match right after.
They did.
I'm going to make this a tag team match.
They did tweet out before this though, like, "Oh, hey, it looks like the top guys out in the ring right now. Let's go get paid."
Yeah.
So I like the touch that they're doing with that kind of stuff.
They had that match. Of course, Cena and Reigns got the win there. But again, even during that tag team match, Reigns was, quote, protected and standing on the apron most of the time as Cena was in there doing all the work.
What if they end up just becoming like the fucking like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man combo and just running fucking shit on everyone?
The new mega powers.
Let's fucking do it.
I'm good on that. I know after this promo, I'm looking forward to these two having a pretty good match, I think. So.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Main event from Monday Night Raw: Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. This is the, I believe, the third matchup between these two.
Yeah.
The first
poor Sasha.
The first pay-per-view match where Bliss took the count out. Then the second match where Banks actually won the title, and then this being the rematch from SummerSlam, and right back to Bliss. For me, this was not my favorite of these three matches. I really think the very first match that they had, where it was just the dumb the awful countout finish or whatever that Bliss took, but that match really stood out to me as really good. Maybe because SummerSlam was such a fucking marathon show,
right.
Maybe that match got lost in the shuffle for me. But this, again, not as good as those two, but we had some really good near falls in there. Banks is favoring her left arm in her midsection. Couldn't tell if it was just a good sell or an actual injury in the match. So,
she does that, man.
Yeah, really good stuff. I liked just the beginning of this match. Fucking Banks coming out just looking really cocky and confident, but Bliss, like a new side of her, just looking very serious and focused in and dialed in.
Yep.
So that was just a nice touch going into the match. It looks like I thought Banks at the beginning stages of the match looked like she didn't take Alexa Bliss seriously. So that's a story that they can tell going down the line there. Of course, afterwards, Nia Jax comes out, celebrates with Alexa Bliss, and a very short-lived celebration, dropping Alexa Bliss. She's got her up on her shoulders, fucking drops her back.
Evolution of that shit.
So what do what do you guys think of this? Are we going to go back to Banks and Bliss right away? It looks like Nia's in the picture now. Is it going to be just Bliss and Nia going forward? What do you think, Joe?
I think it's going to be Nia. They're going to try to give her that, first big push, whether she wins or not. They've got plenty of time to set up for the pay-per-view with these two if they're going to do that. I'm not excited about that, but we can see what happens. Again, are they going to turn Alexa face? Because then it's going to be heel on heel.
Yeah, and it's interesting, too, that they brought up the idea that these two had a, quote, well-documented friendship, when on TV they were never really friends, except for like that thing they did on like 2 months ago or whatever it was. But their, quote, well-documented friendship has only been on Twitter. But nevertheless, Taka, what did you think here?
I actually liked this ending segment. It was good. It was well done on all parties there. I just think it's just the wrong move. Like they said, their well-documented friendship. It's like their friendship has been the best thing about Nia Jax. They need to be together.
Yes.
It's just so unfortunate. I'm interested in see where it goes. Fucking sink or swim at this point, Nia. Like you gotta do something, and don't become another Tamina. Like, wow.
Yeah, to me, and this is a little bit of my internet troll angry wrestling fan coming out here, but the bouncing back and forth of the championship, you can argue that okay, we've got two great credible women's wrestlers here, and the championship going back and forth isn't necessarily bad because they're both good and credible. So there's that argument, but I would argue it would have meant more if one of them could have just held on to it long enough, and you could have told the friendship story between Bliss and Nia, where Nia would be helping Bliss keep the title, being the that typical heel thing. But we would complain about that too. So
see, I don't know. It's like, do you go in the direction of making Alexa a heel or a face at this point? Because she's been a heel for well over a year now. I mean, she's basically been a champion for a fucking year in one way or another, if you think about it.
It's hard to say because she was not a good babyface down at NXT.
No,
and she is such a stellar heel. So it just seems foolish to turn.
It's like I honestly want Nia Jax as a face. Like, she has personality. That's how she's going to shine. And maybe a face moveset would help her a little bit more.
I'm thinking it has to be because this heel thing is not working out for Nia Jax. That being said, I mean, you got to be careful with the Nia Jax thing too, because one of the reasons why she has heat is because she's not very good. So I mean, you turn her babyface, you start pushing her, giving her the championship. There could be backlash.
She's at the point like Corbin. It's sink or swim at this fucking point. You got to show us something, because you got 32 fucking women on the Mae Young Classic right now, and these women are tearing it up.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. Joe, any thoughts? Any other thoughts on the Bliss versus Sasha Banks thing? I thought you might wanted to chime in there late here.
I mean, just agreeing with Taco in the sense that it'd be interesting to see, or actually it was you, Tom, but I don't think she would work as a face. Again, thinking back to just that small bit of NXT, it was just really disappointing. It was too bubbly, and I think that's where they would take her, is immediately that bubbly blonde type thing. And that's not Alexa.
It would probably work if she could keep the same attitude that she has now as a heel, bring it to the face, kind of like what AJ Styles did.
It's a different time then, too.
Yeah, right.
You know, she's still learning.
All right, a couple other things from Raw. I did like that Elias came out and destroyed Pelvis Wesley.
Oh, that was great.
Southpaw Regional Wrestling. It gave me hope that maybe Dolph Ziggler is going to bring his Southpaw character to SmackDown Live, but we'll get to SmackDown here shortly.
Did you think that I saw the wig come off? Do you think Pelvis Wesley is Heath Slater?
There's a distinct possibility.
I think they're distant cousins. I mean, that's the Slater family is just all over the place.
A lot of inbreeding in that family.
Trailer
Thinking, yeah.
It's like the shirt should be like, "We got kids."
From the beginning of Monday Night Raw, we had the big Intercontinental title number one contenders battle royal.
How fucking fun was this?
It was fun.
It was straight fun. Like, you know, like fucking we started off Raw, let's do a battle. I was like, oh, we're doing this again. Like, ease off. No, man, like they gave it time. They told stories in the fucking ring. I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
We got clean shaven Big Show out there.
Oh, yeah. Was it the Big Shave?
The Big Shave.
I forgot who tweeted. That shit was so funny, though.
Had the Miz Taraj in there taking guys out. Everybody ganging up and taking out Kurt Hawkins right away.
Right away.
Get this guy the fuck out of there. Of course, Finn and Jason Jordan in there telling a nice part of their story. Balor and the Club kind of teaming up a little bit there. Anderson and Gallows and Finn having a little bit of a too-sweet moment.
I just wish the crowd would have popped harder for that. You know, I almost feel like that was kind of them doing it to show the back, hey, this is what's up, you know, kind of like how Styles and Nakamura did at the ladder match.
And it was a big moment. It was those guys that took out the Big Show. So, I mean, that was a big moment there. I like the Miz help keep the Miz Taraj alive behind the referee's back after Matt Hardy's elimination. So Finn is dominating this thing, and it looks like he's just going to run wild and win this thing, and everybody's like, ooh, Finn in the IC picture versus the Miz. That could be interesting. But then, of course, it was the Wyatt mysteriousness out of nowhere.
I wasn't mad at that. It was just, he's there, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too much, but it was too much of this, you know.
This match, anything goes!
It's just, why is a battle royal, no DQ, anything goes? If that's the case, grab 17 chairs, everybody can bring bullshit into the ring and murder each other. So that part of it bothered me. And again,
never mind.
And I'm being negative, but I agree with you that I really liked this match, but things pop up as I'm watching this too. In my mind, it's like, if this was, like, why is somebody that's already been eliminated allowed to eliminate somebody? That should be against the rules. If somebody that's already been eliminated or isn't in the match eliminates somebody, that shouldn't count. Right? Am I wrong here?
Right.
Am I wrong here?
No.
I just fucking survive.
To me,
strongest man survives.
And here's the thing: as a fan who gets it and understands, I'm with you. I'm with it. I get it. But it's these little kinds of things that put heat not on the heels, not on the guys that are coming in. It puts the heat on the rules. It puts the heat on the WWE.
Fuck your rules.
And so to me, that's what turns like casual people. They're like, fuck this bullshit. There's no fucking rules. Nothing matters. And so it was just something that popped up into my head as I was watching it. All that being said, a fun match. I love it. Fucking, it looks like Jason Jordan's gonna get a fucking late, but then it ends up being Jeff Hardy. Yep. So that's
fun.
Yeah, it told a fun story, and it gives us a match to look forward to next week. So, and
by the way, Tommy.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it in on the Am I Wrong. I'm not. You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
All right, that's good to know. Thank you. Let's do this one.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Big Lebowski, baby.
Let's see. I'm not going to talk about Enzo.
Okay.
Heyman and Lesnar's promo was pretty good there. Lesnar says he wants Strowman after last week. He says he's going to hunt him down and take him to Suplex City, bitch.
Bitch.
Nothing spectacular, but it was nice to hear something from Lesnar himself. So There was
It's nice every once in a while.
Yeah. Then we had the Ambrose and Rollins versus the Bar saga continue. We had the couple of singles matches in there. Cesaro wins the first one with an uppercut after the distraction again.
Distraction. Too many distractions.
It was nice. I shouldn't say it was nice because of what Booker T was dealing with down there in Houston with his family, but it was different having Jerry Lawler back on commentary this week.
It was nice because he wasn't fucking drunk saying crazy shit. He was straight up Jerry the King Lawler on commentary, and it felt good.
There were a couple of moments to me that were just like, ooh, Lawler, I don't know if you should be doing that in 2007. Like bringing up, I mean, it was like, I think it was the Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks match, and like the first thing he says about, oh, these two beautiful ladies and da-da-da-da, like, you don't need to go there. So just little things like that, but it was a fun kind of different thing, and it was nice to hear kind of Lawler just every once in a while just going, ooh, in the background. I kind of miss his,
I do, while it's on my mind, though, I know today's Thursday, Seth Rollins Wrestling School is selling shirts. The proceeds go to the Hurricane stuff. And then I know Pro Wrestling Tees is doing a big Labor Day sale, too, and their proceeds are going to the Hurricane. So, if you're going to buy some shit, might as well do it through them.
I think I saw on Twitter that Keith Lee said he's going to donate all of his shirt profits to the Houston thing.
Right on.
So I'm sure a lot of wrestlers are doing that over this awful situation down there in Houston. All right, back to the nonsense. I liked these two matches between Ambrose and Rollins and the Bar.
Yeah, I like that. Was it Rollins and not Rollins, Ambrose and Sheamus? I like that they're just like, fuck it, let's do it right now.
And it's funny because they start the match and then go to commercial. But they did all the pausing and shenanigans, and they said, "Are we going to have a match? Let's do it right now." They could go to commercial then and then come back. Yes, they signed the match. It's happening now. But instead, they start the match and go to commercial, which just it still bothers me to no end. We had a nice stretch muffler into a power bomb from Sheamus. That was fun. A nice
stretcher muffler.
A nice second rope rolling senton. Ambrose is selling the back. Rollins hits Sheamus with the flying knee behind the ref outside as Sheamus goes for white noise. So Rollins getting involved as a babyface in a match that he's not involved in. So a little clunky there with him doing stuff behind the referee's back. But it was the shenanigans in the first match between
it was back
Cesaro
to back,
and Rollins.
so.
Right. That kind of went in there. So, but fun action mid-show between all those guys.
How do you like the...
It keeps this feud going.
How do you like the Ambrose and Rollins calling out the Usos and vice versa? Have you seen any of that going on?
I haven't seen any of that yet, but that's interesting.
It's been at house shows. Have been just kind of running up to the cameras and calling each other out. So, hey, hopefully this leads up to like a Survivor Series match or something.
And it's smart on their part too, because that's kind of taking in the idea of what the Young Bucks do with them fucking calling out the Revival all the time.
Right.
Funny, they got a new Being the Elite episode out where apparently WWE has been sending them cease and desist orders. They can no longer say fuck the Revival, and they can no longer say suck it. So they were beeping all of that out and encouraging people in the crowd to say fuck the Revival because we can't say it, but you can.
Yeah.
But I like that WWE guys are kind of taking that into their gimmick and be like, hey, we're the best on Raw. We're going to call out guys from SmackDown, guys from other territories. So yeah, that's
exciting.
That's a cool thing. Emma's new gimmick. Remember a few months back, I had that idea for a really dumb gimmick for Bayley, where she becomes like she's a little girl now, and she becomes a teenager who's snotty and obsessed with her phone and Twitter. Well, that's Emma now.
I honestly don't hate this. All right, like no, it's just Emma's on fucking TV weekly. She has a fucking gimmick weekly. I don't think Emelina just ever went anywhere.
No, Emelina.
She's acting this. No, she's acting that person.
I see what you're saying.
So it's just like like the word is they're kind of ribbing her right now and everything. But no, what if she's on fucking TV. This is what people bitch about her all the time, about her not being on fucking TV. Like I said last week, she's starting from square fucking one. She has to do this. And I love that.
And she's doing it.
And she's doing it. And I love the fact that her thing right now is, I started the women's revolution. And one of my biggest complaints with her in her, the backroom interviews is she's very talking like this, when Emma and tweet this. And she's just very she's fucking boring.
Yeah.
You know, like, she's so uninteresting. Like, yeah, her ring work is great, but guess what? There's a lot of women out there with great ring work.
She should almost mix in a little bit of that Emelina stuff in there.
I feel like we're getting there, though. Like, now she's kind of vocal. And
I've been on Twitter for so long.
We're getting that fucking energy out of her that we need, and honestly, this could be the return of Paige.
Well, and that's what everybody's been teasing too. And as a matter of fact, since you brought up, and here's the thing is, I'm not hating it this week either because Emma got the win,
right?
And I'm kind of digging this gimmick. And fucking Lance Storm was out there on Twitter bringing up, hello, the heel's right. Emma did technically start the women's revolution when it was her and Paige that won the title tournament for the NXT Women's title. So. I like that Lance Storm. Excuse me, let me be serious for a moment. Right. bringing that into play, and so yeah, I am liking the story now, and she got the victory over Mickie James.
You know, it's just we're not going to get overnight fucking things in the WWE. Like, be patient. Let things blossom. Let it work out. You know, learn with them as the story goes. That's the point.
That's the problem with this generation. We are impatient. We don't want spoilers, but nobody ever watches anything on time, and
because we fucking read it online.
We just bitch and moan online when we just disagree with the smallest little thing. Why not enjoy it for a little while?
But I'm fucking you know, we're all happy she's on TV. You know, let's fucking see where this goes.
I'm happier, and I was definitely guilty of being impatient with it last week.
Yeah.
So I will eat my crow and say I am happier with it this week, and will be enjoying it more going forward. Let's shift some gears and talk just a little bit of SmackDown Live.
Change the subject. SmackDown Live.
Players, I'm going to make this a tag team match.
So it was your typical WWE stuff where, you know, Jinder Mahal is out there at the beginning.
Let's roll this up quicker than the finishes of SmackDown.
Basically, the opening segment set up the tag. That was the main event. It's going to be Nakamura versus Orton next week, but they had to team this week against the dastardly heels of Jinder Mahal and Rusev.
Even though they did a thing of advertising this before SmackDown.
Right, exactly. They still had to have their holla moment where they set up the match. Jinder Mahal at the beginning. I don't know what you're doing over there, Joe, but you're making an awful lot of noise. But Jinder Mahal, God bless him, he loves his scripted promos, but he needs to learn how to pronounce the word revered.
Every time I walk through an airport or check into a hotel, I am shown with this exact disrespect when I should be revered as your WWE champion.
It's revered.
Revered.
No,
revered.
It's different in Canada.
Revered Jinder.
Revered.
So that's what we got from SmackDown there.
I did like the Singh brothers like kissing his feet and apologizing and all that though.
That was very
they need to treat him like the king he is.
The Maharaja. Yes, of course.
Maharaja.
Ascension versus Gable and Shelton Benjamin. I didn't hate this.
No, it's fun.
That was fun. Good debut.
A nice debut. I did kind of expect a little more fanfare for Benjamin. You know, a promo before the match, just something. It just kind of felt like, oh, here's Shelton Benjamin. So, but
I'm not mad at that. Let him be the booster and highlight Gable.
Yeah, so there was.
Then we already waited the last time. I mean, he was set to debut and literally got hurt. So
yeah, that was a year ago, right when they did the first draft. So slightly odd, reluctant chemistry between Gable and Benjamin. So I kind of like that. That's kind of how American Alpha started.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like Benjamin, like I said, deserved a bigger fanfare, but they did get the win and a fun little match there. AJ Styles beat Ty Dillinger with the calf crusher rather quickly. This was the second week of the Open Challenge. A bit clunky because Corbin wanted to challenge, but Ty was out there first. They had to brawl before the thing.
Corbin botched a fucking U.S. title Open Challenge.
It is interesting to point that out, though. Like, how does it work? Does you just have to be the first guy out of the current?
Right.
So it was kind of funny with like Ty coming out and then Corbin like, hey, wait a minute. I'm Barry Corbin.
Corbin.
So there was that. Bobby Roode versus Mike Kanellis. Mike Kanellis, a bit of pro wrestling news here.
Yeah.
He's been off TV for a couple of weeks. Apparently, he's been fighting a pain killer addiction. So he's about I guess like a week or two clean, not even something like that.
Yeah. He's always been kind of open about it, but it's a fucking a roller coaster thing with that shit. But
it was like Maria on her. She put a thing out on Twitter saying that she didn't. Even, it was something that she wasn't even aware of. So it's just one of those silent demons, I guess.
But he's in good hands right now to get the help. WWE's always had that open door policy to help. The wrestlers out there. So
definitely, but
and the fact that they got him on TV already, and
exactly.
that just shows that they are still confident in him.
But there are a lot of rumors out there that WWE has soured on this Maria and Mike Kanellis gimmick, this love gimmick thing.
Yeah.
So, but they're
wrong.
They were out there doing it on TV this week, so we will see where it goes. To get back to the Rusev thing and teaming up with Jinder, there was a lot of rumors going on over the weekend that Rusev might have asked for his release. There was that tweet that where he thanked WWE and talent relations and all that. So all of a sudden the internet was abuzz. Ooh, what if Rusev is in next year's G1 climax and whatnot? So there was a lot of...
Oh, my God.
But nevertheless, Jinder or Rusev back on SmackDown Live, taking the fall though. So again, nothing big going on for Rusev right now. I'd like to see Rusev elevated. Get him back. I like Rusev in a big time
I don't know if it was
program.
On Twitter or actually on SmackDown, but he was just like, "This ain't no friendship. I'm coming after that belt still."
Oh yeah, that was on on SmackDown. Yeah, they did the interview in the middle of the show, and Mahal was doing the team building exercise. But yeah, it was Rusev saying, "Hey, just because we're teaming tonight doesn't mean I don't want that title." So yeah, I liked that aspect from Rusev.
Well, as long as he stays in that time,
bye.
Working with them.
Repeat that.
Yeah, you broke up there, Joe.
You know what? I don't know.
What? No, yes.
Let's see here. We have the Aiden English versus Sami Zayn debacle. Kevin Owens interrupts Aiden English as he's singing, and Shane comes out, puts him in his place. Then they had the match between Aiden English and Sami Zayn.
I loved that interaction between Kevin Owens and English, where he's like, "These people would not appreciate your artistic abilities." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right," and just leaves the ring.
Well, and then him just complaining and bitching, and Shane coming out and be like, no, I pretty much had to do what I had to do because the guy you picked bitched out and left the ring. I had to put on the referee shirt because there was nobody else to do it. And so Kevin Owens pouts. He sits on commentary at ringside. Aiden English and Sami Zayn start to have the match, and Kevin Owens is like, "Fuck this." Jumps in the ring, strips the ref of his jersey. I'm the ref now. Fucking hits the pop-up power bomb on Sami Zayn. Aiden English gets the win after the fast 3 count. Yep. Shane comes out again and says, "God damn it, no, we're striking this from the record. This is bullshit." So it was a silly, dumb little segment, but I thought it was fun. Yeah, and again, the silliness of Kevin Owens getting in the ring and stealing the referee's fucking shirt and not being an immediate disqualification is rather clunky.
Right,
but I like the referee just kind of gives up. "Oh, I'm out of here. I guess I'm not the referee anymore." It was so awkward though.
I mean, he took his shirt, man.
Yeah, I mean, what do you got? Thank God he had an undershirt. That's all I'm saying. So
yeah, that's true.
The New Day versus the Usos, with the winner picking the stipulation for their next title match. The Usos getting the win with the leverage pin with the tights. They didn't say on SmackDown what their stipulation is that they're picking, but there is a lot of time between now and the next SmackDown.
With the Uso Penitentiary match.
I'm really upset that you said that.
I'm not.
We had enough of you talking that flim flam, that booty chatter.
Natty says she's going to make Carmella the Baron Corbin of the women's division. Yikes.
How about that Natty shirt?
Yeah. Paws out, claws out.
Yes, sir.
Naomi's going to challenge Natty in 2 weeks. Meow, meow, she says. Tamina had a squash match. Taco, say your line.
Oh, that's neat.
It really wasn't, actually. But the Fashion Files, back to basics.
This was fucking neat.
I like how they have the new technology. They got the fancy headphones, the black light, and then Fandango says, "Ooh, I know what this is. This is a title." No, that's just a belt. So that was
good little jab there.
So it's the black light reveals arrows on the boxes that point them towards
each other.
2B and 12. Yeah, they go around in circles a few times until Fandango turns one of the boxes around, points it towards the bulletin board this time, and it reveals that it is 2B or not 2B. They determine that must be something artistic. Is it Nakamura, perhaps? No, it's got to be Aiden English. So apparently it was Aiden English who trashed their offices so many months ago. Who knows? But I think that was pretty much SmackDown.
That was pretty much SmackDown.
So that's all you need to know. Let's change.
You can keep this going, by the way, just for
All right, bye.
Who attacked them?
Oh, what?
Oh, apparently am I cutting out?
Yeah, just try that again.
Checking.
Yep, you're good.
Just the fact that we've been waiting weeks upon weeks for them to reveal who did this. And every time we think we're about to find out, they just to be continued us.
That's pretty much the gimmick at this point.
It's a standard sitcom.
Well, they usually solve some sort of issue during the sitcom, and then maybe, I don't know. I got nothing. Let's talk some Ring of Honor.
Change the subject.
Did you guys get a chance to see this week's ROH
That's a no on the can of fan.
Like I said. Tons to there's so much to get through with everything weekly, but the biggest news, of course, we touched on it earlier. Minoru Suzuki, the current never openweight champion for New Japan, will be challenging Cody Rhodes at Death Before Dishonor on September 22nd, I believe. So coming up in a few weeks here. Let me just make sure I got it right here. Yes, September 22nd, Death Before Dishonor. I am very excited because I hope that this means that Minoru Suzuki will be on the tour with Ring of Honor, where I will be going down to Chicago to see the show with Kenny Omega on the bill down there, and I'm really hoping now that Suzuki is on that show. But nevertheless,
that would be awesome.
He will be at the pay-per-view and the TV tapings the following night in September. So very interesting stuff there. This week,
it's like there's respect for Suzuki, but do you think if he is on the next tour that like the Ring of Honor locker room is just like, fuck, I'm just going to get the shit slapped out of me?
I think everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck.
But I think it's going to attract some very interesting attention, and it's going to cross one of those names off of Cody's bucket list.
Yes, sir.
So it'll be pretty cool. The big main event from this week was the Motor City Machine Guns taking on the Young Bucks.
Damn!
This was a tag team title match, of course, for the Ring of Honor tag team titles. A very good match. Everything you would expect from a Young Bucks match. And to me, as a guy who's not been as high on Motor City Machine Guns, it really proved to me that these are two guys that are really still in this thing and really still able to hang in the tag team division here in Ring of Honor.
Good.
Great.
This was
grand.
Excellent.
This was interesting.
Wonderful.
Because
tremendous.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, you know what we forgot to mention from SmackDown, and the only reason I did, we had another Dolph Ziggler promo that really went nowhere, where he continued to talk about all the things that he's going to be. He was supposed to come out and reveal it this week, but apparently it takes a long time.
Yeah, I missed last week's promo on it too.
You're not the only one. But so he's talking about, well, this is a big transformation because it's all about what the hell was the line? Something about all show and no substance. And so he's like, oh, I gotta sing and I'm gonna glow and I'm gonna do all this and I'm gonna become a superhero.
I can be a superhero. Zigman!
So that was the only thing worth. And the only reason I brought it up is because I saw the sounder on the thing and I forgot to play it, and so I gotta play Zigman. It's fucking.
I can be a superhero. Zigman!
I hope his intro starts off like that now.
I hope that he is the fucking Southpaw Regional Wrestling thing, coming out to 80s music, just rocking, not giving a fuck.
That'd be great.
Coming out with like glowing clothes, and he sings, and he plays a guitar, and just fucking off. I really hope that he's just
selling cricket phones.
Complete fuck off, yes. Back to Ring of Honor this week. Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks for the tag titles. Fun match. This was weird because, again, it was this thing being taped weeks ago. The Bucks come out with the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles that they have already lost to, who was it? Was it Ricochet and Taguchi, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Ricochet and Taguchi, they lost the junior titles too.
Oh, yeah, in the finals.
Yep, at the G1 finals. And they just defended the Ring of Honor tag team titles at the pay-per-view from last weekend. So you kind of knew nothing was going to happen here if you were up to date on actually other stuff in Ring of Honor. So that's another problem that Ring of Honor has to deal with. But nevertheless, the thing ended in a DQ when Kazarian and Daniels come out and attack late in the match. So this kind of building up to another three-way between these three teams. Remember the thing last year? The ladder war. It was the coming out party for Christopher Daniels. That fucking swan song match that we talked about. And it was
we thought he was retiring.
Right, and that was a year ago. So we're getting back to these three teams again a year later. The Machine Guns, Young Bucks, and Kaz and Daniels.
Wow.
So interesting to see if they'll bring
it's
those
a good
three back.
time just with where everybody's story's at. Everybody's been doing their own thing, and they finished that stuff up. Now they can come back at each other and just give us another amazing match.
Is it time, though? I mean, we're right back to where we were. The Addiction's heels again.
Yeah, but...
I mean, it was a great match. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to see it, but...
And it could be that...
it's just interesting to go right back there, like a year later.
Was it last... No, the Young Bucks did beat the Addiction last year in that match. So it'd be interesting to see if they go right back to that, or if the Addiction actually take the tag titles back.
Snatch them bald.
So that'd be an interesting...
Because I plan on snatching a ball.
Jonathan Gresham and Jay White teamed up. They're, of course, part of Coast to Coast. They took on War Machine, the current IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Very fun match. Gresham and Jay White attack before the bell, and they hang in there with War Machine. Rowe gets the hot tag, throws Gresham onto Jay White's back. Jay White is like on all fours, and he just throws Gresham back to back on him. It was
Damn.
Awesome late sequences, a couple of close near falls for Search and Destroy. But it was War Machine getting the win with the pop-up power slam. A good
motherfucker is so fun to watch, man.
Really good TV tag match there. Caprice Coleman is upset that his set for Coleman's Pulpit has not arrived, and he demands that it has arrived by next week. So there's that. Jay Briscoe is out of the six-man tag for next week because of the Kingdom attack on him from last week, where they piled a bunch of chairs on top of him and beat the shit out of him with chairs. So it'll just be a straight-up tag with Bully Ray and Mark Briscoe taking on Cody and Hangman Page coming up this week on Ring of Honor TV. Then it was Shane Taylor versus Josh Woods. I wasn't much into this match here. It was just kind of your typical Ring of Honor.
Sounds like a
mid-card
clusterfuck fight.
Right, yeah. QT Marshall, whoever that is, was on commentary.
He said he's a cutie.
He was out there scouting, apparently. Josh Woods gets a win with the schoolboy after Taylor gets a chair in the ring, and that the referee is struggling getting the chair away from him, and Josh Woods getting the devastating roll-up victory. Then we had the Minoru Suzuki announcement and a video package, and Cody throwing a fit in the locker room at the news that
I did see this.
Would be his opponent. Then we had a nice Kenny King interview. This was a sit-down style interview. He talks about being on reality TV, and it taught him to focus more on himself and Ring of Honor. And he talked about how he just didn't care.
He was on reality TV
when he was in the Rebellion. He was on the Bachelor, the most recent or Bachelorette, one of those Bachelor or Bachelorette shows. He was in the team of like
giving that black D. Yeah,
he was in the team of like 20 or 30 guys or whatever. So yes, he was on that. But this was kind of this was something that we needed for if they're turning Kenny King babyface. This was a
I've liked him since the split, man.
This has been a step in the right direction, so this interview helps with that, definitely in my eyes. So that was pretty much Ring of Honor this week. So just chugging along TV-wise. Again, continuity issues are a problem, but, it is what it is. So
It's always minor things, though.
All right, let's get into some NXT. Okay, don't
NXT.
I guess that'll have to do because I got to reboot the machine here. Give me just 1 second
Fucking
here.
Michael Winslow over here.
There it goes. Here we go.
Change the subject.
NXT.
Taco, you dated yourself with that one.
Huh?
You said you're dating.
Nobody
yourself.
knows who the fuck Mike Winslow is.
I was like, how am I dating myself in the NXT?
Good show on NXT this week. At the beginning of the show, somebody attacked Sanity and some security guys.
Clinton Dix?
It was either Clinton Dix or
Clinton Dix.
two guys in white shirts. Maybe you speculated it could be the Singh brothers.
I know they wear pink.
Yeah, it's true. So who knows? It could be the Future Shot guys. Certainly, they've been running rampant all over NXT lately. Then we had McIntyre's big promo celebratory celebration, saying that being the champion is his life, and he will take on all challenges. All you got to do is step up and be a man. Look me in the eye. Out comes Roderick Strong. Go ahead. It looks like you had something to say.
Oh, no, I'm just listening.
Okay. But yeah, Roderick Strong coming out talking about, hey, I'm going to beat Bobby Roode later tonight, and then I'll be happy to take you on and take that NXT championship. And I liked McIntyre fucking marking out and being like, yeah, this is the kind of challenge I like, stepping up into my face and being a man about it. And then I hope you're man enough to get knocked out. So
I do like that. What 2/3 of 3MB are champs, and 2/3 of 3MB are getting mediocre reactions when they come out with the titles.
So yeah, how do you feel about McIntyre with the championship here on NXT?
It's good because he's fuck. I'm not trying to take anything away from the dude. He's been tearing it up. He's been he reestablished himself and made him a legit threat in the business, and he's back home essentially. It's a good middle ground to get the belt off of Roode and onto someone else and have them have a good, decent run. I just don't see it staying on McIntyre for a long time.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I feel like Aleister Black is hiding in the shadows somewhere.
Man, I want him just on fucking main roster now.
Yeah.
But then I worry about what they do with him on the main roster.
It's fucking kicking Corbin's head off.
Your thoughts, Joe?
I've been really impressed with all of his in-ring work. It's the mic stuff that hasn't been that amazing. This is the first promo where I'm like, yes, I'm enjoying what he's doing. I like tough. What is it? He's Scottish?
Yeah.
Or Irish?
Scottish.
Don't fucking fucking rude, Joe.
God dang it. I was asking out of courtesy.
You're fine, Joe. Don't worry about it.
But this promo, I liked everything about him in this promo. I'm just not that big on Roderick Strong's promo skills.
Yeah,
again, great in-ring work.
Yeah,
he does leave a bit to be desired.
At first, when they were doing the storytelling with him, it was spot on, but it's kind of the Ziggler effect. Same thing every week, man.
But he really brings it in the ring, though. Yeah, he gets over when he wrestles.
Did you guys notice the screw up with that?
No.
Just timeline wise, technically, I think the Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong match had already happened because Roderick Strong says in it, I had to rewind it to check it out, but he says, I beat Bobby Roode earlier tonight. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean, I knew that was going to happen, but.
To me, it didn't come across. He said, when I beat Bobby Roode or something like that. It stood out to me a little bit. I didn't rewind it like you did. But to me, it came. Like I know exactly what you're saying because that kind of popped into my head too. But then I immediately said, well, he's saying when I defeat Bobby Roode later. And so I just kind of put.
Yeah, it's a live mic at that point. So
I filled in my own logic. So and you have to do that from time to time. But yeah, that's in reality that probably could have happened or probably did happen.
It's way easier for me to let you fill in the logic.
Peyton Royce versus Ruby Riott. This surprised me a little bit.
The Iconic duo, man. They're fucking stepping up to the plate, man.
And yeah, Peyton really much improved, although who knows how much they've restricted her in the past. But stood out really good in this match. I thought Ruby Riott also looked really good.
She's always solid.
Right.
She was really aggressive in this match.
I thought it was a little interesting that it seemed like, and this could just be a Full Sail thing, but it seemed like Peyton Royce was more over than Ruby Riott in the match. What are your thoughts on that aspect of it?
I think they're getting pretty over because they're just their online interactions, those videos that they're doing in the back. I mean, it's them, and it speaks volumes. That those little things speak so much fucking volume to people. So it's just easier connected to them. Where the Ruby Riott we see is just, she's in the ring training in the background, or she's coming out to the ring to kick some ass. She's an ass whooper. She's not a showgirl.
Right.
So, and just I think everyone's just on the same page as the Iconic duo, that they're fucking they're stepping up to the plate. We could see week in, week out that they're getting better and better and better, and their mic skills are getting better and better and better. And not Peyton, the other one,
Billy
Kay. Her fucking kick on the outside of that ring, dude, was just fucking ruthless.
Yeah, Ruby had the nice big dive onto both of them, and then Billy Kay, that kick to the face on the outside. Really good.
I like Peyton
and they
using the fisherman's suplex.
Yeah.
Yep, getting the win with the bridge there.
They both work. They just work well together. I'm digging it.
So, good stuff there. Cassius Ohno asks, Clinton Dix. He asks Regal in the back as he's getting interviewed about the attack on the Sanity guys. He's getting interviewed about that, but Ohno barges in.
I'm okay, Regal. I feel good, Regal. I'm good, Regal.
He asks for the no DQ match with Itami next week. Very rare to get a no DQ match on NXT.
This match, anything goes.
But yeah, Taco, talk about the what do you make of Ohno's personality?
I don't know, it's lackluster. He's another guy. He's a ring worker. I don't know. I guess I haven't really seen too many Chris Hero promos to really have a comment on it, but he's like Nia Jax silly looking in the ring, not move wise, just look wise.
Takes you out of it, yeah.
Just throws me off. Like I don't know, like I look at their attire and shit like that. Little things like that bug me.
It's part of the package.
And that's why just like on Mae Young, that the Piper Niven or Niven, like she's a big thick girl, but she looks like a fucking wrestler. And I look at someone like Nia Jax, big thick girl, and she just looks like shit. She's beautiful, just her ring gear just looks like shit.
It messes up the act.
Yeah, it just throws me off. Things like that throw me off, and I don't know.
Joe, where are you on Ohno and Itami no DQ next week?
Oh, that'll be fun, the match itself.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great match. I mean, but I think I posted on Twitter, but just Cassius Ohno was super cordial when he was talking to Regal.
Yeah, it was awkward.
And just super nice, and you're asking for a no DQ match in the nicest fashion.
Well, he got it, so it worked.
Yeah, so it worked. But I mean, it's a fun match. But I haven't really enjoyed Ohno that much, even
Since
in the ring. I mean,
one.
I think Aleister Black is the only match I've really enjoyed from him.
Day one is oh no.
The music killed me.
Heavy Machinery took on the authors of Lame. They won with the Compactor. What do you guys think of the Compactor? I don't know if that looks like a very safe finishing maneuver, but it was effective on this pair of geeks here.
I like it.
Again, with the right people, it's not going to look that dangerous. It's just those were two newbies. They're getting some ring work with these guys, and it just looked a little clunky at that point. But I mean, I've seen them hit it just perfectly where it doesn't look that bad, honestly.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm digging this Lars Sullivan situation. He's had the story where he's been beating up his opponents. He gets pissed off and he just freaks out and he can't do anything about it. So it's going to be him versus.
Did you guys go back and watch that interview of him?
No, what one was that, Joe?
I was talking about it last week. I watched it again just to verify, but when No Way Jose was on his way to the ring, the music was playing. A lady was interviewing him in the back, and she tries to interview him, and he just goes, "Wait, do you hear that music? It's like really annoying, right? Try again." And she tries to do it. He's just like, nope, I just can't do it. This is really annoying. And then he walks off, and that's when he goes beats his shit out of No Way Jose.
Oh, I did see that. Okay,
I didn't see that. That's good. I like that.
So it just explains so much, and yeah, I completely agree. This Lars guy,
he can't handle being annoyed, and then he fucking blows a fuse, and he has to murder somebody. So that'll be fun next week. Him squashing his former 3 opponents from before. Again, next week we're going to get Cesar Bononi versus Andrade Cien Almas in their second matchup. Bononi, I think is how you say it, actually. Cesar Bononi got the upset win over Almas a few weeks back. So there's that. Then it was the main event, Roderick Strong versus Bobby Roode.
Damn.
Very good match.
Yeah, right?
Roderick Strong brings the fight early, hits very unique backbreakers as he's known for. Roode comes back, shoves him into the stairs, and hits a spine buster on the floor, then hits a big fireman's stunner for a near fall. Strong gets a big superplex off the top for a near fall. Never see those in pro wrestling anymore, right, Joe?
That's completely true.
It's a bit of an inside joke there.
Fact.
You need to just get that soundbite at this point, right?
I think he said it off the podcast, though. That's the problem. Yeah. So that's how bad of an inside joke it is. It wasn't even talked about on the show. So there's that. Roode hits the glorious DDT, but Strong rolls towards the edge of the ring. He gets his foot on the rope, so that didn't work. After Roderick Strong does get the win here with 3 brutal jumping knees and 2 big suplex backbreakers. I like when he goes for the second one after the crowd chants one more time, he blows him a kiss. So that was a nice touch. And again, a very good match. Roderick Strong looks good as Bobby Roode is on his way out and gives
Well, Bobby Roode looked good in this match. I mean, again, we haven't been super amazed by his matches, but this one in my mind was really impressive and makes me think he could hang on the SmackDown roster.
Yeah, Roode has really, I think he's maybe heard some of the criticism that he's had that his matches haven't been blowing people out of the water, so he's really been putting in some extra, just working hard in the ring.
Does he really need to have a match that blows anyone out of the water?
But even in his squash match on SmackDown this week, he stood out and looked good. Hitting that blockbuster off the top or whatever, and just going the extra mile and looking good in the ring. So
and I think he was just doing good, doing a consistent move, being consistent, and now he's on the main roster, and that's fucking full throttle that shit, because otherwise you're going to be kind of like other guys where they're full throttle NXT and then they get to main roster and it's just stalled.
So then after the match, Drew McIntyre comes out and stands on the stage and kind of congratulating Roderick Strong. But then the Future Shot guys come out.
Yeah.
Of course, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish beat the shit out of McIntyre. And fucking here comes Clinton Dix himself.
Clinton Dix.
Regal, and chases them away as they run off saying, "This is our NXT now." What'd you make of all of that, Taco?
That motherfucker, Jason Voorhees, just slow walked as they're running, and he's just keeping pace with them,
Joe, what'd you think of the main event and the shenanigans afterwards and all of that?
It's just fun. It's setting up, this other, stable, and I honestly think they're the ones who attacked Sanity at the beginning of the episode. I think we're going to be seeing these, stables going at it, and then, they're interested in the tag titles as well as the world title.
Yep.
For, so they're interested in it all. So you got Authors of Pain being thrown in that, even Heavy Machinery down the line. I mean, there's so many ways you can take this. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, right on. Let's get into this. Is your spoiler alert if you're not caught up on the Mae Young Classic and you're trying to avoid spoilers. This is it. We're going to talk Mae Young Classic. The first round is in.
Haha, spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's the first 4 episodes for you. What we like to do on this show is make prediction brackets and have a little competition between ourselves, where the first round of the tournament worth 1 point, second round 2 points, third 3 points, so on and so forth. We love to do this with tournaments. Loser buys the beers, and then we have our little beer parties here on the show.
Yeah!
And I was very much looking forward to doing this with this show. And then at the last minute, like I think on Sunday, I'm listening to Observer Radio. It was either Saturday or Sunday. I think it was on Sunday because it was the show where they were talking about the McGregor and Mayweather fight.
Fucking shout out to Mauro, man. He's the best.
Yeah, Mauro Ranallo on commentary for Showtime on the biggest pay-per-view of all time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, I was listening to Meltzer, and he started talking about, and I'm not going to do the Asuka spoiler here, so no spoil. I'm not going to spoil that one. But that news has been out there, and I had heard the Asuka news, but that has not been talked about on NXT yet. But that'll be coming up. So I was fine with listening to that. So as he's talking about that, he's saying, "Oh well, they could do the finalists from the Mae Young Classic, da 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 and da da da," and then so he just kind of casually threw out the 2 finalists from the Mae Young Classic.
Wow.
And I'm just like, fuck, the whole thing has been... So I tempted fate when I heard him start talking about, the NXT women's situation. I tempted fate. He spoiled it for me. So it's my own fault, but still at the same time, it's like, come on, give a guy a spoiler alert on something that huge. That was big, so I was very upset at that. So I did not bother filling out a prediction bracket, being that I know what the finals are.
Just brutal.
But I will refrain from spoiling them from you and the listeners, and we'll just talk about the tournament as we go.
Who's your final 2, Joe?
My final 2 are Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler.
Oh, okay.
And what do you got, Taco?
I got Piper and Baszler.
So both of you with Shayna Baszler in the finals.
It's interesting because, I filled mine out. I was like, this is so fucking not right. But it came down to that Mercedes broad for me and Baszler, just because that Mercedes broad looks so much like fucking Justino Cyborg Santos from the UFC.
Okay.
And that, I don't want to call her the B word. She'll kill me if I do. That lady will fucking murk bitches like there's no tomorrow. So it's just kind of like, with her UFC background, it's kind of me wanting to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And
the whole fucking Team Rousey thing.
Yeah, that was cool.
They're kind of shoving that down our throats already.
I love those. I love them sitting in the front row,
it's great.
cheering them on, cheering her on.
Fuck yeah, no, it's great.
That was really cool. Most of these matches for me were, I think I had one at 3.5 stars. I had one 3 3/4. But again, these opening round matches are just kind of about learning who the performers are and getting to know who's going to be good, who's moving on, and just getting familiar with the wrestlers. So, but I mean,
there's some gems in there though.
Definitely. Let's start with night 1. Kay Lee Ray versus Princessa. Oh God, I'm going to butcher the last name. Suhei, right? Princessa Suhei. Again,
I was super pumped for a luchadora.
Yeah, and this was one of the better matches of the tournament. I gave it 3 stars. Kay Lee Ray, a high flying risk taker, with a submission game. Of course, Suhei, the luchadora, good stuff from her. Good hard hitting action back and forth from these two. Kay Lee Ray gets a bit cocky, but a good near fall with a unique faceplant move. But it was Suhei getting the win with an arm submission here. I was kind of expecting Kay Lee Ray to get the win here, but it was nice to see Suhei moving on, the big 20-year veteran.
Yeah, I had her going over on this one, just kind of Mexican audience thing.
Right on.
That's kind of how I chose some of mine.
Well, and I just I was so pumped when I saw watched the bracketology and I saw that she wears a mask, and I'm just like, well, she looks like she's got some skill, and I've actually got her versus Baszler before the finals.
Nice.
Okay.
Then it was Vanessa Bourne taking on Serena Deeb. Of course, we know Serena from her days in the Straight Edge Society. So I like this match because it told part of that redemption story. It was Deeb getting the win with a spear. I gave it 3 stars, mostly because I liked the first match better, but I really liked the story in this match. So she's got something to prove in the match. This match also featured the first female referee in WWE since the 1980s, Jessica Carr. So hopefully we'll be seeing more of her outside of not only NXT and the Mae Young Classic, but hopefully on the main roster fairly soon. Good late back and forth from these two. Some odd wasted motion in the match. You're going to get that with some greener girls, or greener women, but it was Deeb getting the win with the spear in the match. Then it was Shayna Baszler versus Zeta. This one didn't...
Good Lord.
This one, I didn't much care for this match, and I was really looking forward to see what Baszler brought. And I liked the submission game, but the strikes that the slaps and stuff that she was doing left a bit to be desired for me.
I think it's just the whole MMA pro wrestling barrier. She probably, doesn't know how to not fully...
Right, it can be hard to pull your punches and slaps when you're used to going full bore.
Well, and Zeta was not giving her any help either. I mean, it was just overall sloppy. I think they just didn't work well together. Not even saying it was that bad. I mean, it was just a bad match, but sometimes there's just not that chemistry right away.
Well, and I think that the story they were trying to tell were two, MMA-based fighters, and kind of telling a different in-ring story, almost what Kyle O'Reilly and Aleister Black did, just working a different pro wrestling style. But I think, again, both of these two women were probably a little too green to pull that off.
She was
in a satisfying pro wrestling way.
She did better than I thought I was expecting. Well, I have her going to the fucking finals, for Christ's sake. And that's only because of the fucking Mercedes.
Right on.
But so I'm interested to see what's going to come out of her. And
Baszler did have a nice finisher, the suplex into the sleeper combination, so that was nice, and she got the win there. Then the main event from night one, Jazzy Gabbert taking on Abby Lath. This was one of my highest. This was my highest rated match of the first round. I gave it 3 3/4, just under 4 stars for me. Jazzy Gabbert, of course, the German force that she is, and Abby Lath, the former Kimberly from the indie scene.
80s bad guy.
Striking, for Jazzy being the German 80s bad guy, good stuff. Powerhouse versus finesse that hits hard. Impressive submissions and strikes in the corner. This is the Jazzy, that is. She dominates early in the match. Abby comes back with kicks and a top rope swanton for a near fall. Then it was Abby Lath getting the win with the alligator clutch, and that kind of plays into her story too, because that was one of Mae Young's moves, and the story that was passed down through her trainers to her. So that's a really cool story in the tournament too. But fucking Jazzy hitting that vicious lariat late in the match, and hitting and the ground and pound right before the finish too was really nice. So I liked that aspect of it.
Well, in the beginning of the match, there was just her getting pushed off of Jazzy, and then just that freaking scream of war that Abby had.
And that got over.
I was just I was in right there.
Yeah, me too. That got over big with the crowd too in Full Sail. So a lot of fun there. All right, from night 2, episode 2 of the Mae Young Classic. This was not as good of a show. Zia Lee took on Mercedes Martinez. This is Zia Lee's first match ever. So being that, and that was what JR said on the show. So if that's true, that at least is the story that they're telling from Zia Lee. And so if this was indeed her first match ever, it was good for a first match, but it wasn't a very good match in the tournament, but a good first ever match for someone who's never had a wrestling match
sounds
before.
Like a waste of a spot.
Well, she did lose right away, so she was there to lose. Mercedes.
Well, I'm sad Perazo was an alternate.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I found out that she was an alternate if anybody got injured. So,
that's
who
right.
knows?
I think I did hear about that, too, yeah.
But I've just been seeing her everywhere, so it's I'm really mad that she's not in the tournament.
Martinez says she's not a flyer. She's worked too hard to lose this opportunity.
What? What?
Wins the match with a surfboard dragon sleeper. So a nice finisher from Martinez.
Yeah.
But I just gave this one 1.5 stars. Pretty much a skippable match. Then it was Rachel Ellering, a.k.a. Rachel Evers, taking on Marty Bell. Interesting to note here, Rachel Evers, she's got a lot of charisma. She's got a good look. She's got a good story, obviously, but still pretty green. She was in the latest edition of Botchamania. There's a lot of talk this week of we didn't bring up the Sexy Star thing from in the pro wrestling news. That was the one thing that we forgot.
We don't talk trash.
Sexy Star fucking going shooting on Clinton Dix. Rosemary in the 4-way match from Triple Mania. If anybody got a chance to watch that for free on Twitch over the weekend, I did not. But Sexy Star getting heat and all over the wrestling world, and she will probably not be working for too many promotions in the future.
Well, it sounds like they're not firing her either.
Well, AAA, they can bring back anybody. That's the problem. But getting back to the Rachel Ellering Evers situation, in the latest edition of Botchamania, she was in on an indie match, and I don't have the other lady's name on there, but Ellering botches a couple of things, looks like shit, and eventually this other girl just stops selling for her, and it looks awful, and the fucking thing just becomes a mess, and it's awful. Just awful. And I don't know how much more experience the other woman had than Ellering, but if she was supposed to be the more experienced one in the match, it was very unprofessional of her, not on the level of Sexy Star, but definitely in that realm of unprofessionalism. But that being said,
I'm rooting for Rachel. She's a Minnesota girl.
Yeah, me too. And she's young and she's very good, but she's got a long way to go. This was a fun match. Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to bring up, just because you brought that up, that I read in the dirt sheets that this one was changed mid-match. And that Marty Bell was supposed to win this match, and that they had soured on her character so much that they decided mid-match for her to lose and for Rachel Evers to get the win. And I actually watched closely on this match, and if you watch the ref, she's not giving directions like a ref. You can see there's communication going on between the wrestlers. She's trying to get something across. So I kind of believe it a little bit.
That's interesting. I was familiar with Marty Bell a little bit from her TNA days, and I thought she came across good in her promo. But yeah, who knows what went on behind.
Apparently, she was just something. Yeah, she was just like, she thinks she's number one and she's better than everybody, and that she should be better in a better match for the tournament and all this shit.
Well, Rachel did get the win with the inside cradle, the most devastating move in professional wrestling, the roll-up. So at least she knows that. Again, it was a pretty skippable match, 1 star, but I guess interesting with all that others. I might have to go back.
The roll-up comes up like immediately after you see all the communication go down. So again, a quick finish to it as well.
Again, I wonder if some of that might just be internet bullshit too, because this was kind of a down episode of the Mae Young Classic, because
it's a way to keep us busy.
It came across as a pretty skippable match. And
definitely.
So, and even this third match, Rhea Ripley versus Miranda Salinas. Again, this one only 2 stars, but I really liked the Rhea Ripley character. Again, she says she's a mosh kid, a former soccer player. She's only 20 years old, but she looks really good in the ring for someone that young.
Tall girl too.
And yeah, just immediately the charisma stood out to me just in that interview that she gave. And I'm just like, okay, we've got something to work with here. So I was really into that.
I'm glad I had her going pretty far. So,
and that being said, even the Miranda Salinas, excuse me, she had a nice little promo too. She, the latest 5 Feet of Fury.
Salinas!
Yeah.
5 feet and sassy, trained by Booker T. But it was Ripley getting the win with the full Nelson slam. Looking forward to see what Ripley does in the tournament there. Who'd you guys have in some of these matches, by the way?
I actually had Ripley going over on that one, going pretty far.
I also had Ripley going on that one.
Right.
I'm thinking of the cruiserweight and how the UK tournament went.
Right.
Fucking no one had TJP winning.
Right now, everybody. It's like, who do they have signed? Who's locked up?
Yo.
I was going to say that Jazzy Gabbert one really fucked me over because I had her going. Also, she was going to be against Suhei before Suhei won.
I went with Abby Lath on that one just because, like, I feel like they're going to favor some of the NXT girls a little bit more than some of these other girls. And there's between Mercedes and Piper, some big, like strong, heavy girls on there already.
Main event from this show was pretty good. 3 stars, in my opinion. Sarah Logan, the former crazy Mary Dobson, taking on Mae Young. Very fun match here. Sarah Logan doing the country girl gimmick. She says she flew herself to Japan to train in strong style right after she graduated. Mae Young, of course, we know as a former TNA person and the promotion, I should say.
Jade.
Yes, Jade in TNA, and I like her story, telling the story that she's the domestic violence survivor.
I don't like that story, but
okay. To each their own. Let's hear.
I'm just saying it's an unfortunate story to have. No, I'm glad she's able to overcome it.
Yes. This was the first match that I noticed they were announcing that there were 15-minute time limits in the matches, so that immediately raised...
Yeah, I watched all of them with no commentary or anything, and then get over here and watch a couple with you. I was like, there was time limits?
And it adds a nice bit of drama to it, but it's so rare to hear a time limit in WWE. But it's a nice touch.
I just love the whole atmosphere of it. It's very fucking classy.
Yeah, and I like how when it's time for the match to start, all of the lights go down except for what's on the ring. You don't see anybody in the crowd or anything, so that's really cool too.
I did hear though that the cruiserweight tournament next year is going to be called the Billy Kidman Classic.
Just stop. Just stop.
What I said was, stop talking.
Mae Young gets the win here with Eat Defeat. Very good match here.
It was a fun match. They beat each other up.
Yeah, nice seated striking battle after Logan escapes a guillotine submission. So I kind of expected Logan to get the win here just because she's already been in NXT a little bit.
I had to.
But it was nice to see Mae Young moving forward.
I had Yim taking that one too.
Very nice. Then episode 3, continuing in the first round here. Toni Storm, who in her interview fucking won me over.
She's fun.
That little hat gimmick and them glasses or whatever. She's just awesome. Just a brash Aussie, as I put down in my notes. She took on Aisha Raymond. She's the powerlifting cat. This one just a 2-star match.
I could not stand that chick. Like, that fucking stupid ass fucking... Take that shit off your nose. You look like you fucking fell off your bike and skid your nose on the ground. Stop it.
Well, she was just there to lose, and that's what she did. Toni Storm got the win with a roll-up after Raymond misses the big top rope splash.
And I like that they added in the commentary that she was a former Progress Women's Champion.
Yes.
That kind of opened my eyes. That was one of the things I noticed in the bracketology was the fact that they showed Progress stuff. So I actually have her in the quarterfinals right before against Sane. So I think that's going to be a good match if we get it.
Very nice, very nice. Then it was Kavita Devi, I think I'm saying that right, I hope so, versus Dakota Kai. Just another 2-star match here, but Devi, the first Indian woman in WWE, very powerful-looking woman and trained by the great Kali. She kind of walks like Kali.
Yeah.
Versus the New Zealander, another person from the Aussie side of town, Dakota Kai, known for her kicks and kicking hard, but she's got that nice girl next door look, which is fun. A good match here, a good showcase for.
Apparently, she did sign a contract today.
Okay,
there's
interesting.
There's a article over there that she retweeted, just going shh. So
she gets the win with the running corner kick and the top rope double stomp after fighting from underneath the whole match. But a really awesome coup de grace from Dakota.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited to see more of her.
Go ahead, Joe.
Did you have her winning, Taco?
She won. Yeah, I had her winning this round. It was kind of hard because it's like, are they going to go to the fucking Indian route on this thing? I was like, please not over Dakota Kai, man. Like, come on.
Right.
But yeah, I had her going over this one.
Me as well.
All right, then it was Bianca Belair versus Sage Beckett. Bianca Belair known for the very long braid that she uses as a weapon late in the match. And Sage,
that is an illegal maneuver, my friend.
I agree with you. I think that should be
it's part of her body.
Full disqualification. Sage Beckett's gimmick is that she is a shaman in the ring. Oh, who cares?
And a demon in the sack. Sorry, that'll be my only one.
Good hard-hitting stuff from Belair and a nice showcase.
I enjoyed this match.
Yeah, Belair got the win with the hair whip followed by the spear in the end. So look for more of that from Belair.
Which, ladies, think of some different finishers besides spears and swantons, please. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and there were a couple of moments here. There was we'll get to it, but like Mae Young used Eat Defeat to get a win as a finisher, and then somebody else used it later in the tournament didn't even use it as a
move,
as a near fall. It was just a transition move. So you gotta communicate a little bit.
Actually,
communicate a little bit better on that. Anyway, then it was Santana Garrett versus Piper. Oh, did I skip a bunch here?
We just did Dakota Kai's.
Okay, yeah, no, and then we did Bianca.
Bianca, yeah,
yep, and then it was Santana Garrett versus Piper Niven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, Niven got the win with the back senton and the Michinoku driver combination.
Fun match.
Santana Garrett.
This was fun to watch.
Yeah, Santana Garrett does the Wonder Woman gimmick, and Piper is the thick Scotswoman. Garrett used
Rebel Wilson.
Oh, it was right here. Santana Garrett used Eat Defeat as just a transitional move. That was this match.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So funny that I put that in my notes right as we were talking about.
It's like you fucking do this every week.
Yeah. Niven got the win. Like I said, they're good match. 2.5 stars.
I hope they keep her around, man.
Yeah, a really interesting, unique looking character there. So
I pointed out, the thick girls, like someone like that. I think she could help someone like Nia Jax, even fucking Tamina. Like, look how long Tamina's been in the business, and she's still dog shit. Like,
well, it's the thing too. I mean, some people got it, some people can do it, and some people just never will.
But it's like
I trained in it for 10 years, and it's like, well, he just kind of is who he is.
Just seeing this girl, she's a star, man. Like, I'm digging her.
Right on.
I agreed, man.
Then finally, episode 4, we had Renee Michelle versus Candice LeRae. Finally, we got to see some Candice LeRae. I was a bit underwhelmed, honestly, by Candice LeRae. Haven't seen a lot of her, but, of course, there's a lot of internet hype behind her, being the wife of Johnny Gargano, having really standout stuff in like PWG.
Well, she does those crazy fucking matches, too.
Right. So this just kind of being an opening round Mae Young Classic match. It was a showcase for her. She did get the win with the second rope swinging neck breaker, which was a very nice move here. So, but I look forward to better matches later on in the tournament from Candice here. I imagine both of you guys had her going over.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Then,
and also, sorry, I'm just going to say that having watched, I didn't watch any of the really crazy stuff. I did watch a few of Candice LeRae's matches. Okay. It's kind of what to expect. Like, she wasn't going to be like super amazing. And again, being the first round match, I think we're saving some stuff for these, second, third, and fourth round matches.
No, she's there just to be a big name, but let's fucking keep her around too, because she draws a crowd, and obviously she's a hard worker.
Then Lacey Evans versus I'm going to screw up this name. Tayanara Conti. Tayanara Conti. Sorry about that.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that because I'm going to be a sexist pig if I do.
Of course, Lacey Evans being featured on NXT a couple of times. The former Marine. She gets the win here with a very unique driver move. This is Tayanara Conti was the Brazilian.
Yeah, I actually really like that chick too, seeing what she was doing in that ring. I like, her kicks are on point. They fucking shoot. Yeah. She's Brazilian, for Christ's sake. But this is kind of something, keep her in the NXT there and develop her. Like, I think she could be like another star too, just with her fucking knowledge in the martial arts world. And then I don't want to say this was like a wasted opportunity because there's not much there, but with her facing Lacey Evans, the ex, was she Marine?
Marine, yeah.
The ex-Marine against...
former drill sergeant.
Conti.
Jesus.
What? No, yes.
But it's just, I'm a big fan of the UFC fights, and those are sometimes the if not the biggest fights, are always, USA versus Brazil.
Oh,
so,
sure,
like,
yeah.
I could see this as being a big fucking feud down in NXT down the road, and, if played right, like, ladies, work your asses off, and, I think these two could main event at NXT, if they have a stellar feud. Now, real world, not going to happen.
All right, now this next match I only gave 1 star to, but I don't want to screw up the names here, but I think I might, and I think I might have everything backwards here. Nicole Savoy versus Reina Gonzalez. Does that sound right? Anyway,
yeah, this was rough.
One of them looks like the Hamburglar. One of them is the trash talking submission and thrower. Which one had the win here? Because I'm not sure I have the right name.
Savoy.
I've got Savoy.
Okay, so yeah, Nicole Savoy got the win with
and
the.
Unfortunately, had Gonzalez going over on this one.
She got the win with the armbar, the cross arm breaker. But afterwards, she's selling her knee, so something to play into possibly her second round matchup, because Savoy is going to be taking on Candice LeRae in the next round. We'll get into all the second round matchups here in just a minute. We got one more match here. Final match of the first round, Kairi Sane taking on Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
I gave this one 3.5 stars, so my second highest rated match of the tournament so far.
See, and I would have this as my highest rated match. I really had fun with this one, and I'm really disappointed that Tessa Blanchard is already out of the tournament now.
Yeah, I think that's a big sentiment along of a lot of people that Blanchard
so
being
hard
out
because, like, I almost had her fucking going far just because of her connection with Ricochet. But yeah, that Kairi Sane right now, she's a fucking star.
I'm okay with Blanchard being out of it just because everybody knows the talent that she is, and whether she goes or stays in NXT or goes wherever else, the cream will definitely rise to the top. So, but I like that they gave Sane a really good opening round opponent so that she could showcase her best stuff and really look and have a credible back and forth match against not somebody that's just some throwaway.
Plus, it was a good overall main event to all the shows together too. And it's gonna sound weird, but I love Tessa's silhouette of her face. Like, she just looks so mean and just gonna fuck someone up. Like, fucking awesome.
Well, and then Sane is, on the other side is just so adorable,
tiny, and she's just fucking whipping her around her body like there's no tomorrow. It's like, where is this coming from?
So yeah, high impact back and forth moves from both women. Good near falls. Tessa hits a top rope back senton. But yeah, Kairi Sane gets the win with the Alabama slam, followed by that righteous, amazing, awesome top rope elbow. Lots of fun there. Sane getting the win
on the
moving
button.
Yeah.
Just her jumping off the top rope is just so, like, I don't understand how time can pause for a second for her to linger there and then drop. Like, it's just so crazy.
And then just pin the woman by sitting on her face.
Right? I wish you would do that to me.
What? No, yes.
All right, so second round matchups. We got Abby Lath taking on Rachel Evers. That should be interesting there. Princessa Suhei taking on
Truth Martinez.
Yes, Mercedes Mendez. Excuse me. That should be a good match. I'm looking forward to that. Then Nicole Savoy taking on Candice LeRae. We just talked about Savoy could possibly be selling the knee injury going into that one. Mia Yim versus Shayna Baszler. That should be an interesting matchup. I'm looking to be impressed by Shayna Baszler here. So, but
I'm hoping
Mia Yim is a good enough opponent to where she can.
Yeah, she'll probably go further on this one.
And Yim can get a good match out of somebody that is probably a little bit greener too.
Right.
So. Then Kairi Sane versus Bianca Belair. That should be really a fun match there between the hair whip. And
Bianca needs to go fucking full hard on this one.
Definitely.
Poor choice of words.
Then Dakota Kai versus Rhea Ripley. This is the one I'm probably looking forward to most in the second round. Like I said, I really like Ripley's character, just that tall Aussie or whatever. And then Dakota Kai kind of having that Aussie connection being.
Those two
A New Zealander.
Southern Hemisphere girls, they're going to want to represent. You know, like, they're going to go hard. It's going to be fun, man.
That should be a lot of fun. Then Serena Deeb versus Piper Niven. That should another really good match. Piper with
that could be fun.
Piper with her dominant stature, and
Deeb. Luke Gallows is in the crowd for her,
and then Deeb with the the redemption story. Gallows and maybe get a CM Punk lookalike in there too or something. That'd be fun. Then
hey Taco,
what up?
Ask me about Piper Niven.
Ask me what I think about Titus.
What do you think about Titus?
He's a big guy.
What do you think about Piper Niven?
She's a big girl.
Then finally, Lacey Evans taking on Toni Storm. Again, Toni Storm got over with me right away. So looking forward to that one there. So
I feel like she's gonna Zack Sabre us.
So it's going to be the second and third round matches that'll drop next week with the and I guess the rest of the tournament except for the finals should drop next week, I believe, and then the live finale I believe is the week after that. So,
all right,
you got about 3.
Yeah.
You got about 3 weeks to get caught up on your Mae Young Classic going into the finals. So.
You got plenty of time. There's no fucking New Japan on right now.
No New Japan until
Taka and Taichi just released a fucking special.
Right, but the next big New Japan show is until September 10th, one of the Destruction shows. And so, yeah, you've got some time there. So it's
so weird not watching nothing right now, New Japan.
Yeah, after coming off the intense G1, there's just like, I've gone back and watched some stuff. Speaking of New Japan, we'll squeeze in a little New Japan here at the end, but I've been enjoying the Access show. Right after the G1 finished, they started with night 1 of the G1 on Access. Now they're not showing all of the matches, but you are getting quick highlights. You're getting to see the finishes of all the matches so far.
Josh Barnett and JR?
And JR, yes.
Is he pronouncing the names right this time?
For the most part. He still can't say Los Ingobernables.
That's right. I can barely say shit.
Exactly.
Los Ingobernables.
So, but yeah, they do a lot better in the taped environment with it than they did when it was live. So, like I said, I've enjoyed them on Access except for the live show. But they're doing a good job here. So if you've been interested in the G1 Climax but reluctant to spend the money on New Japan World, but if you've got Access TV,
Sling TV 7-day free trial,
exactly,
it's worth it.
You can watch. You can definitely see the greatest of the great matches from the G1 and highlights of everything else. And it looks like they're going to be going through damn near all the shows, at least showing highlights. And what is a nice touch is, and like I said, I don't know if they're going to go through the entire climax, but they do show what everybody's block score is going into or coming out of the matches anyway. So you can kind of follow along that way. So cool stuff there. All right, before we get out of here, let's do the Kojima tweet.
Now it's time for the Satoshi Kojima Tweet of the Week.
Follow Kojima on Twitter at Cozy_Lariat. Good morning. I got up early. I think I am busy from morning till night. I'm fine. Let's eat bread.
Let us all eat bread.
That's it.
Let us eat bread. Bread Club.
I think that's going to do it for this week. I can't think of anything else. Another marathon show.
We have quite a bit of
more news.
Nope, that's it. I got no more news. But yeah, great stuff this week. Looking forward to more Mae Young Classic stuff next week. And, this is a fun diversion in between pay-per-views and New Japan stuff. So I think they really picked a good time to put out the Mae Young Classic. I kind of wish they did what they did with the Cruiserweight Classic, where it was just one show a week. But this is a unique, different thing where you get a chance to kind of binge watch it. So a different flavor, but we'll see how it goes. But anyway, follow the show on Twitter at BPW Podcast. Go to the website for past episodes, links to all the social media, bestprowrestlingpodcast.com. Send us an email, bestprowrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Taco, where can people find you?
Ooh. Follow me on that Twitter, that Snapchat, at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me at Joe BPWP. That's at Joe Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Ooh, that's going to do it for this week. Thanks for checking out the show. Rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes.
Bastas.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
What a week it's been. So much to talk about. Welcome back, professional wrestling fans.
I'm not like most men.
Are we talking now, ain't we? Yeah, you hearing me now, ain't you?
You're just a fake bitch.
Shut up!
All right, before we get out of here, let's do the... let's try that again. All right, before we get out of here, let's hear the...
Lion face, liver face, ooh.
One more time. Okay, before we get out of here, let's hear the... fucking A, man. One more time. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3. Before we get out of here, let's listen to the Satoshi Kojima... What is that? What am I saying?
What the fuck?
All right.
I think we just found the end of the episode.
Yeah.